Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Cycles podcast with me, your girl, Adiambo, Kisumu City. You're hanging out with me, Maeve Cheryl. And I know. I've been away for a while, honestly. And I think it's just those periods where you have to take a break to, like, sort of just reconfigure your stuff and figure out the direction you're taking and if at all it's working. And in studio with me, I have none other than, why are you smiling? So just wait, I get to you. Anyway, I have none other than Isaac BIOSSE. Would you please tell them who you are, what you do, and things like that?
Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm fine. Not me,
You're
them.
such a bully.
No.
My name is Isaac BIOSSE. I'm the personal photographer to Governor Johnson Sakaja. I'm also the founder of Abuki Foundation, also the lead creative at BIOSSE Photography, your one-stop shop for photography, only
Yeah.
photography needs.
You just had to start with that one. So you could have waited for us to get there.
Um,
Not even this podcast wouldn't be as exciting. You've revealed everything on the go.
it's time to make it juicier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so I just wanted you to let us know anything that caught your attention within the week.
This week, there's a story that I'd seen online that was really trending, and it was of a guy that had set himself ablaze in Mombasa.
Where did you see this? Twitter?
No, it's not on Twitter. It's not on social media.
Okay.
Yeah, so he set himself ablaze. It was at some place in Mombasa, like at some mural or something, and actually caught my attention. And I think it's also high time we also prioritize speaking about mental health, and just at times it's okay not being okay, and just accepting that there are times we go through seasons and periods that are not so seemingly the best in our lives.
Yeah.
I think there are times when things go really well and then they go down, and then to just patience in every process. It's really important. But I really hope, because I get a lot of sentiments, from people that things are really hard right now. Economy na uchumi ni mbaya, you get, and I know everyone is trying to do their best, but at times you just really need to hold and believe, because I believe everyone has a purpose. And when you, but it really sent a loud message. I know even those in government, I know they got the
They
message.
felt it.
Yes.
Mine, the thing that caught my attention, mulikazi, and I don't know if I should be scared to say it, but
What was it?
the one that caught my attention was this story for passports. So early in the year, tulikuwa tumesikia that passports, the printer ya passports imeharibika, so passports were not coming out as expected.
Yeah.
But then there's one particular, and it was interesting because I just hosted her the other time, Esther Kazungu.
Yeah.
So she had applied for a passport a while ago, and usually tunaambiwanga in 2 weeks your passport will be ready.
Yeah.
So she follows up, and then nothing happens, and this is like 4 weeks after, if I'm not wrong. I might have gotten that fact wrong, but I don't know. Then now people on Twitter started telling her for her to get her passport, she has to add an extra 15K and then she'll get it the next day. I'm just like, after I've paid 10K, I need to pay another. So literally getting your passport is 25,000 and above, so that it comes out when you want it. Hivi haraka haraka. So ifikie. But she got hers today. She got it.
No, I also feel it, because even I had lost my ID, and previously it was like, times have changed, and with technology you expect things to run a bit faster, and I think it's things that really need to be worked on, especially in that area, because I find people who might get a lot of opportunities, because like I had a friend of mine that got an opportunity to go and represent their organization in the US, but it was so hard for them to get a passport and leave the country, because you see at times tunajituma and we do things in faith, you get, and then when it happens, go like, oh,
Kumbe come through.
imekuja. So then now trying to go get a passport is the only thing that made them not. And they had, I think they were supposed to like get something like a grant of like 25,000
Oh my God.
US dollars or something. I know.
And I saw a lot of stories like that. A lot of people were missing out scholarships, were missing out opportunities like that because the passport is not being processed on time.
Let's hope things get better.
Your tag ni? Lazima iwork.
Lazima iwork. Hakuna option, lazima iwork.
So now we'll go back right into it. So
Yes.
a little background about yourself. So why did you choose photography? How did this come about?
Photography has been my way of commenting in the world. It has given me a reason to go out in the world with a purpose. And I have always been that person who always wanted to tell stories of people. Even I come from a humble background, even in the ghetto. You'd see people going through certain things that you'd want to tell the stories. And one of the earliest things that made me choose photography was, it was a time in primary school where people were just fed up with a certain teacher who people felt like they used to be bullied or beaten in a certain way. And I was like, ningepata hizi moments ni tell vile watu you get. So I'd be the narrator the following day, like, oh, Johnny, Kenneth Otieno alifanya hii.
Ulikuwa kama ule mtu wa kuwitness.
Yeah, exactly. So I got that because even in class 6, I remember Mrs. Mutegi would ask me, what do you want to become? I said, I want to be a journalist. I just wanted to tell stories. And I was just growing up, seeing different aspects of life. And also I really wanted to tell African stories the way I saw them and not how
the white, someone.
the wazungu wangekuja and then say this is, because I'm sure also in States and in Europe, there are people who suffer. They're homeless people, but they don't project that. But when they come here, they want to show the world how
That's the
we are
narrative.
always suffering. And I mean, Nairobi is a beautiful place. Nairobi has a national park in it.
Umesema?
Nairobi.
Just Nairobi.
Nairobi. Wow.
Jokes.
You get like Nairobi has a national park in it. We have the Nairobi River. As in, Nairobi is just beautiful. And there are so many stories to tell about Nairobi.
You have a bias, but I won't attack you. Nimekuacha.
This is where I've grown up. I don't know anywhere else. Yeah.
Also, we were having a conversation about your name, the second one.
Yes.
Please pronounce it.
Isaac. BIOSSE.
BIOSSE.
Yeah.
And you said it's from where?
It's from West Africa. Man's international.
Man's is international.
Yeah.
That's just within Africa. That's not international.
That's my that's where my roots are. My dad's origin.
All right. Yeah. So now the big question is, how did you land working with the governor? Is that something you're comfortable sharing?
Any day, anytime.
All right.
And that's one.
Period.
It was one of those, how do I put it? A matter of time and chance. You get, because I used to do a lot of freelance work. Immediately I'd finished college in 2017. I was like, Mom, nataka camera, and this is what I want to do. Because I kept on saying, if I get a camera, shida za home zitaisha. Najua nitakuwa mboka mbaya na stories of food mtakuwa mnaniachia. That was my you get. So I used to shoot a lot of protests. So I after college I used to do marketing and communications as an intern. Then I did my work so well. God is good. I did my work so well. Then they gave me a job as a marketing associate. But then now during that period, kulikuwa na protests za NASA na Jubilee. I was seated at the office. I was burning to be in the streets and document those stories.
To take pictures.
Yeah. So I really wanted to be there. As in, I feel so alive when shooting such.
Violence.
Not violence per se.
Are you okay?
I'm very okay.
Are you loved at home?
So, sana.
You're a red flag. I'm joking.
So I'd go in the streets, but I really had a very supportive supervisor. He used to tell me, shout out to you. He'd just tell me, just go. Like, I used to work in a white farm, so I'd get into the office at 10 a.m. By 4 p.m. would leave. But then on such days when such things would happen, he'd let me go earlier. So I shoot a lot of protests and a lot of politics. So one of my friends saw what I was doing, but then at that time, he used to shoot for Senator Sakaja at that time. And he gave me a call. I was like, hey, Leo, siingi job. but inaweza connect. I'm flying to a GT. We kuja uende ukapige, so GT calls me, comes pick me up from home, and we go and shoot.
You are picked.
Bruv.
Like the diva you are.
So much violence.
No, Joe, I'm kidding.
So he picked me from home because I didn't know where we were going. So went and we had like our first, like the conference was happening at Grand Regency, like Regency. I think it's changed right now. So I did my first shoot. Then it was just one of, like just testing out what I could do. And I really had a passion to shoot politics.
Yeah.
And it was one of my prayers that I'd get to shoot one personality. I have it in my notebook because I do a lot of shoots. And when I am doing my audition at the end of the month, I'm like, yo, I'm doing so much and going nowhere. You get? So
now I'm a previous.
that's
okay,
then.
Okay.
You get? So I was like shooting everything and anything, weddings, ratio, birthday, baby shower, kila kitu. You get? And at the end of it all, I was helping at home, yes, but I didn't feel like I'd do so much for me. But then my priority then was just helping home because I was still at home at that time. So there was a creatives seminar. It was at KICC. Took 5 pictures and then got like, leo ni leo. Hii kazi lazima nipate. So I took pictures and then he changed his profile picture.
Who? The Sakaja now.
Then he was senator then. Like,
he changed
his
to use a
profile.
picture you took.
Yeah, on that day. I was like, okay. He changed his profile picture on Facebook and on Twitter. I was like, nimekafunga. But then now COVID happened. So I wasn't able to shoot. We were at home. And during that period, I had to sell smokies. And also sell water.
Water, like
Maji
in the
kwa
bottle.
mtungi.
Oh. That's a good business, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
I wouldn't
got
like demean any cartel mdogo. But then, because like it was really tiring though.
Mkona skuma them cocotenis yourself?
Yeah. Like things were really bad because you see now, the creative industry was dead at that time. Nothing much was happening.
Yeah.
I had bills to pay, and at that time though, I may move out. I was really trying to
stand on your feet. Yeah.
Like now December, unasema kuna COVID. I'm like
March.
like nikipanga hivi na hivi nitakuwa na do. Then I was like, so lockdown ikaisha. So then now nikaanza kutoa job moja. Then one time I was like, had gone to Nairobi school. And he took selfies with his phone. I was like, boss, I can do this for you. I can tell that story for you. You just do your thing.
Yeah.
You just do your thing.
No, that's the moment you shot your shot. That's the day you were like, yeah.
I was like, I was like, it hurt me that that nobody got to tell his story. You get? So I was like, I can do this for you. Like then he talked to his personal assistant that time, but I was the chief of staff, David Joroge, and he said, David, see him and security, they'll follow me everywhere. And that's it.
On the spot.
Yeah, so I waited for a couple of months, just talked on working terms, and now that's how we started the gubernatorial race, and that's how I got into the campaign team, and that's
the rest is history.
Glory be to God.
Oh my God. I like your story because, to be honest, some of these things tunasikianga tu na ma superstars. And I keep saying this. There's some things that happen to you that you feel like only happen in stories or in movies and stuff like that. But to hear that yours just came a single moment that sparked everything is so beautiful. Also, I like the fact that you mentioned a lot of the things you are doing were to be able to help home. And I feel like I resonate with that a lot because for me as well, a lot of the reasons why I started was to be in a position to chip in somewhere or to like just move from one level to another, which is fantastic. At least
is it?
I can only relate to you to that extent.
Is
the rest of everything is scary. How can you like taking pictures of violence? You
see, everyone has their purpose, and I can't be like everyone. Even at that time when I was taking such pictures, I think I was the youngest. I think I was 21. The rest were 28-year-olds, 35. People who have been in the game.
Yeah.
And I'd shadow my mentor, Daniel Irungu. I thank God for him because he held my hand like the toughest moments. And I think my life has just been based on shooting my shot. There's no shame in it. Something. Let me not just mention it.
Oh my
It
god.
has been that's just been it. So with Daniel, he took me to my first rally, and that's the first time I got to document former President Uhuru Kenyatta. And that time, mind you, it's funny that I took pictures of Senator Sakaja back then. I didn't know that he'd be my boss like a few years later.
Yeah.
So I'd go just shoot, and no one was paying me. And I'd carry milk in my bag because at times there would be protests. I'd have a gas mask, and those things I'd buy from the money that I'd get from the internship. So he just hold my hand and nipeleke to events. He'd recommend me to people and go shoot rushes. I told you I did everything. So it's really important also just to just shoot your shot, because you never know. Because he kept telling me like, post your work, and I'd get like money, like don't forget to tithe, things that I do up till date. That's been a beautiful journey for me. Yeah.
Again, another message that's recurring is shooting your shot, which
Yeah.
is something I vouch for every other
Yeah.
time on the podcast. And just when you came in, I was working on a couple proposals. So hopefully my story ends beautifully like yours, you know.
Yeah.
The other question I have for you is there a point you've reached and felt like any photography and ukaeka your tools down and maybe now tried to look at other things and stuff like that? Ama it's just been uphill?
Not really. As I mentioned earlier, things weren't making sense at a time, because when COVID happened,
Okay.
I was just really starting. I'd started, but things weren't making sense. It's like living from hand to mouth. Also tried modeling. I did,
Oh,
yeah. I modeled for
okay.
Sarai Afrique.
Okay.
Also did some BTS work for Pinky Gelani. And funny thing is also, I have carried lights way more than I've done for my shoots. And this is just interesting. I've been like that other guy where I'm just learning from different people. And I've worked for Dashi Photography, Anthony Trevett while I was in college, worked for Daniel Irungu, like name it. I've always been a student. And I was like, if this is what is going to make me some tunes, then why not? I've cleaned windows. It's like
You've done it all.
I've
Clearly.
tried it. I used to be a dancer.
Oh,
We won Groove Awards
I've seen
2015.
I've seen you dancing. Oh, now
We are
that
not
makes
mentioning
sense.
it, yeah.
No, they can't. Okay, unless you're dancing after this episode. Are you? But okay, now it makes sense. Group
Yeah,
Awards
2015 with Altamin.
Alta. That's your group.
Yeah, that was my group.
Are you
Yeah.
still friends now? I'm
We are friends, and actually one of us is having a wedding this coming Saturday.
Will you talk about?
No,
When's yours? Jokes. Anyway, so name 2 things you love and hate about your job.
one of the things that I love.
Yeah.
Oof,
So start with the things you love and then the things you hate. Feel free to be honest.
I'm always honest.
Okay.
One of the things that I love, is the fact that I'm getting a chance. It's like the highest privilege ever to shoot the governor of Nairobi. That I can't take for granted.
For sure.
It's one of the things that I really pray about each and every day, and pray for protection for. Like, I am super grateful about it. It gives me a deeper insight of the kind of man that he is. I don't think a lot of people have seen the images that I've taken of him in like the most intimate moments with his children, with like him being a dad, yeah, like playing soccer, and it's so beautiful when let's say someone like the most powerful man in Nairobi, is able to drive himself to work, take his kids to school. These are things I would not see on a regular. The other thing is I get to tell stories of Nairobians, and I think Nairobi is really working, and this is because I can see the change from the past regime till now. One of the things is when getting into office, we like cleaned up Nairobi and collected like garbage worth 2.1 tons. We tried to um, connect water for people in rural areas. You get, and came up with the Nairobi Festival. You get, and there's also the school feeding program dish in a county, and children will get a chance in the first time to be able to eat for free, and it's really powered by the great ideas that the governor has. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how these things will work out.
Okay. Sorry, I'd like
Yeah.
to put you on the spot,
Yeah.
but you're not the one. I don't think you're the right person to answer the question. So, can he come to the podcast? Does he support small creatives?
No, he does support each and every creative,
Oh, for
whether big
real?
or small. And one of the things that I really like about Governor was the fact that among the first things that he did when he was in office was to abolish the archaic laws on photography.
Yeah.
And that was really huge. Even for me, I almost cried because it was really personal. I used to struggle in town to take pictures and hide behind buildings and get clients to wake up at 6 a.m. on Sunday and do shoots by 7:30 we're out of town. And if we do shoots in the evening, it would be hectic because there'd be canjos then, police and cops would just harass us. But then now also, it's just also bringing dignity in that creative space, that even kanjos are the people who are taking care
Or
of
photographers.
photographers,
Wow.
which is really beautiful.
I relate to that because as a model, and we used to go with my friends to town.
Yeah.
Hey. If you're not there by a certain time, photography imeisha. Ama mnapiga picha usha pose kidogo ni mbio. I'm just like, what's happening? So now move to the things you hate about your job.
I want to be very honest about it, and my work really involves the long hours. I am always there present, and one of the things is at times I make sure I leave after boss. So you might go home and that's when I leave. You get, because I feel like I'm just able to document each and every bit of it. So I don't want
to miss anything.
Yeah, I don't want to rob humanity of the creativity or a side of him that needs to be seen.
Okay.
So I'm just there always. Yeah, and also if I'm not taking pictures with my camera, like I'm with my phone, just trying to get shots for reels, which is also just beautiful. The other thing is being bundled up sometimes by security. I mean,
Or security, other people's
yeah,
security.
where like let's say the prominent leaders, you get, it's just like being ruffled up sometimes because there's their own protocol. You get, that's just, it comes with the job. Also have to grow a thick skin. Yeah, utabebanishwa na polisi ukasirike, but you need to get the shot. At times I'm just carried, but
you're filming whatever you get to get.
Filming, yeah. And also, it's not easy because there are times, like this time, boss was giving his first address in the county assembly. I was just there trying to get a shot. Nikakimbia, had this long shot. And I study a lot, yeah? So I was like, if I get this walk, it's going to be historic. I knelt down to get that picture. Guess what happened?
What happened?
Trouser zangu iliraruka. There are like 100 people behind me.
Iliraruka katikati ama yote?
Yote hadi huko nyuma.
He deserved jokes. Okay.
Wow.
Let's continue.
And I just removed my coat and
ukaiva kama vile tulikuwa tunavaa sweaters.
Tell me why someone recorded that moment and sent it to me.
Oh my god. Are they your friend ama?
Yeah, they're my friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just between us.
So that's why I understand why you'd hate that moment. So my other question would be, what are some of the tips you can give any person who's watching who's probably interested in working with the government or even Nairobi County as a whole? Are there opportunities? How can people learn about these opportunities and stuff like that?
There are a lot of opportunities in the government, and let me speak about Nairobi County. The governor has rolled out a plan to employ 3,500 youth to help with environment, planting trees, and cleaning up the city. And these opportunities can be found in the Nairobi County Public Service Board platform. There's the Nairobi Festival that's happening. A lot of youths are going to be employed. There's also the school feeding program. I see most of these jobs they are for people under 30. Yeah, so
Why is there a cap?
there's no cap really. That's now just empowering the youth. There are other jobs that would require, but solely for. He's been thinking about the youth a lot of times. So those are part of the jobs that is put out for the youth. And how to get into the government, I must say it takes a lot because it's not given to you. You really have to go out, and it takes a lot of discipline. You see, sometimes people feel entitled just because you're a young person. Unafaa upatiwe. And that's not the case. I don't think even the great people got it by just being given. You get? You really have to fight for that position because you're not the only one.
Yeah.
You see, like a job that requires like 3,500 people, maybe like 10,000 people might have applied for it. You get? So at times it needs you to go and approach people. Just go out there and be consistent and just keep following up on it.
For sure.
You get?
Yeah.
So that's just it.
Okay. Yeah. For any one of you who's watching and might be interested in working with the Nairobi County government, or if you wish to oust him as the governor's photographer, please be sure to follow some. What?
You're very much welcome.
Oh, okay. To try.
Yeah, like when was it? I think 2 weeks ago, I had found a photographer on a Sunday. I was from church, and he stopped me. I was like, "Yo, I know you from Instagram." I'm like, "Wapi? Mandanganya." Like, "See no way." I was like, "Okay, sir. Hata najua pale nafanya kazi wapi?" Like, oh, he told me where I work and who I work for. I was like, he was very passionate, and it reminded me of a younger me. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I have the gift of access, and I called him at night, like, kuja kesho, tupige picha gawana. And he came and he did crazy shots, and that's the thing. I was just paying it forward.
Give him,
because someone also gave me a chance when they had the access 4 or 5 years ago, and now I think it's also. I don't think there's a monopoly for me not to help. I'll keep helping where I can, and I think I'm doing my part in just trying to push the creative industry, and soon you'll see in one of my posts here. Boss is a huge fan of the creative industry. Like there are times we do tests and it pick my camera, take pictures, as in that I really love, and it also just keeps me going. Then there are times, God will be like, "You're a star, keep shining." Like
affirmations.
It really does a lot for a person, and I don't think anyone needs to let go of their dreams because it hasn't happened. Just
keep going.
Thank
you so much for tuning into this episode. Thank you as well for coming. It's been nice to hear your story, and I've taken key pointers. But like the consistent messaging is keep going, shoot your shots, take your chance. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. You can follow him on social media. Your platforms are
Isaac BIOSSE on
everywhere.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow Cycles Podcast on Cycles_podcast on Instagram, or my personal page at Maeve Cheryl on Instagram, or Maeve Cheryl1 on Twitter. See you in the next episode, guys. Bye.
Bye.